Mame fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
You are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment at the comment section after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number 0277128777. Thank you. I would like you to join me listening to a caution or a warning given to the NPP by Inusah Fuseini of the NDC. Thank you.
Newspaper. ECG not meeting monthly revenue targets, according to the Energy Minister. NPP academics reject proposed presidential first election model. And Ablikuma North, EC to rerun election in 19 polling stations on July 11th. That's a story captured by the National Enquirer. My name is Kwame Usuda, so I've been joined in the studios by Mr. Pratt and Honorable Inusah Fuseini. We are expecting to be joined by Mr. Philip Langdon as well. Honorable, let me start with you straight away. Let's go to Togo.
Oh, Togo has been in the crisis, in the news for some bad reasons, largely because of governance issues. We have a country that has been ruled by one family for more than 4 decades, and a recent attempt at amending the constitution to make the Prime Minister of Togo almost a life leader is what sparked the crisis in Togo. I believe that the lack of space, political space for other actors to participate in determining the fortunes and future of Togo is what is aggravating the situation in Togo. Now, we have always lamented the inability of ECOWAS as a regional body to intervene in such situations. And I'm not surprised that the coalition of Togolese political parties and elders and leaders in Togo are calling for ECOWAS to assert their authority in Togo. How they will do that, I can't tell, because when the constitution was being tinkered with and to make Yadima almost a life president, we do not hear condemnation from ECOWAS. And this is what normally precedes violence and lawlessness in countries that have attempted to change their constitutions to suit their political leader. You recall that of Guinea and the emergence of Dumboy. You recall the Ivory Coast itself, our closest neighbor. And these situations where presidents or prime ministers sitting at the helm of affairs use state institutions to suppress the people and also elect themselves as leaders or tinker with the constitution is what is now clearly the bane of West African countries. Togo itself, this appears to be the second time they are doing that. On the demise of the Nyasingbe, it was provided in their constitution that the Speaker of Parliament ought to take over. That didn't happen, did it? I mean, because again, there was the constitution was changed to make it impossible for the Speaker. So I think that there are some values that we should stand for as West Africans, to respect the democratic will of the people and ensure that constitutions that we have enacted to be, which contains the guiding principles and to be the guide for political action in our countries must be respected. And immediately we begin flouting the express provisions of the constitution or tinkering with the constitutions, then we provide the basis for civil disobedience like is happening in Togo. It's very unfortunate. I simply do not know why for Nyasimbe wants to hold on. But clearly, the people in Togo, and some people in Togo, I mean, we cannot discount the fact that he has supporters in Togo, but some people in Togo think that that is not the best way to go. And ECOWAS should intervene to see how they resolve this matter quickly. Okay. The way things are happening in MPP clearly shows that MPP is a manifestation of a cabal, sort of, and that some people have hijacked the party and they are turning their constitution, the conventions within the party for their own good and benefit. It also shows that, and like Kufo said, they've thrown the values that members of the party stood for, or the principles that informed the organization of the party, to the dogs. And that is why the party is losing appeal, even among core MPP members. I mean, we have been told that recent polls show that the total membership of the party have dropped from 32% to 30%. Clearly, that is showing some level of dissatisfaction and lack of confidence in the way leadership of the party is managing the affairs of the party. And I see all that being a culmination of an inordinate desire by some people within the party to hold on to the party. And they will do anything, or they will stop at nothing to ensure that they manifest their intentions. I mean, all of us are political actors. All of us sitting here have been political actors. We know that when you go into an election and you fail to win the election, or perform so disastrously as the NPP performed in the last election, what normally happens is that you do a soul searching. You do a soul searching to know why you performed that way, especially when you went into the elections thinking that you would win and expended a lot of resources to be able to win and cranked your machinery into operation, and you lose by the largest margin ever recorded in the Fourth Republic. I mean, people should do soul searching. I mean, this is not the time. So for you to know that the party is in decay, people are not even worried about their disastrous performance in the 2024 elections. They are already gunning for positions within the party. You have not built the party and you are looking for a position. I mean, how can a horse of broken legs be ridden into battle? You cannot. Somehow, the NPP leadership presently are failing to see the fact that their horse, their vehicle, has challenges, and that they need to put their vehicles in good shape to be able to prepare for the next elections. And that's what they're doing, what they're doing. We know that when you fail to win elections, you need to start a confidence-building mechanism within the party. So you go down to the grassroots. Look at the branches. In the NPP, they call them polling stations. Who are those who are there? What happened? Because the electoral system in this country is organized in such a way that it becomes easy if you have got the institutional structure on the ground to mobilize the people. So mobilization starts from the grassroots, from the polling station level. So NPP had polling station chairman, because the polling station will have not less than 1,000 people, or not more than 1,000 people. And so when you look at the number of polling station executives, you should be able to determine your members within the polling station. And when you escalate it to the whole country, you should be able to determine your strength if your party is really active. So if your party performs disastrously, you go back to the polling station, you go to the base, to the beginning, and see what prevented your people from turning out to vote. Is it that the executives or polling station agents at that level failed, refused, or neglected to perform their duties, or they are non-existent. Or some of them have just simply abandoned posts. Are some people willing to take over and ensure that they organize the party at the polling station level? Then when you do that, after you've organized the polling stations within the constituency, or within all the constituencies in Ghana, you now give the polling stations the power and authority to elect people for the constituencies whom they can work with, whom they trust to provide leadership. Because a number of polling stations in the constituency are headed by the constituency executives. And so all of them, you must know all the polling station executives and the area coordinators to be able to mobilize your people. That's the bottom top approach. So the polling station executives vest authority and confidence in constituency executives to be able to manage them to mobilize people for elections. Then after you've succeeded in the polling station and the constituency, you escalate it. So constituency executives, now we have put all of you in place. Who do you want to manage you as constituency executives? The constituency executives must trust people who can manage them. And so the constituency executives now go to the regional conference to elect regional executives. That's how it is organized. It's a question of trust.
Before then, they'll go to electoral area. Then
Region, electoral area. I mean, so we don't have an electoral area, but region. So when they go to region, the region too, with the constituency executives, regional executives and constituency executives, now come together to elect the national executives. You culminate everything. I mean, everything is crowned by the election of a flag bearer. And the constitutions and the NPP constitution, as well as the NDC constitution, and many other political party constitutions says that when the party is in opposition, you elect your candidate 2 years to the election. When your party is in power, you elect the candidate 1 year to an election. Why? Because if you elect your candidate while in power 2 years to elections, you make the president a lame duck. Nothing happens again. So 1 year to an election. Now, so you see, in Kufuor's time, when the people picked before the time that was limited for the holding of elections, he asked all of them to leave office and go and pursue their interests, because they were effectively making him a lame duck. They were not concentrating. No, then you just sit down one day and hear that the NPP is going to have a national conference. They even don't have a chairman now, because the chairman is sick. And that they were going to have a national conference. And that the elders of the party, together with the regional chairman, were meeting at Alisa to consider the way forward for their party. Then out of the blue, that national conference, irrespective of the prescription of the Constitution, which says that you elect your president 2 years to an election, and the fact that there's an organizational structure which can culminate into the election of a flag bearer, put everything aside. And then the national executive, the national conference then says that, oh, for the purposes of this election, we are going to elect our president before we go and organize the party. We are going to elect our flag bearer. Before, who tells you that when you organize the party, the people who will emerge at the grassroots level will support your candidate? Who tells you that? So, I mean, I can tell you without looking into the magic bowl that, look, if they move ahead with their formula, they must be prepared for a disastrous defeat. Because people are just seeing that what they have done is try to impose a candidate on the on the executives who will subsequently be elected and asked to work for that candidate. I mean, that would not be their candidate. That would be a candidate of the national conference. And so it's a matter of worry. We are commenting on it because as politicians, Ghana will work better if political parties are strong. So that's why we are commenting on it. But clearly what NPP has done, one, is trying to foreclose the avenue for any other person who wants to contest the election. Why? Because these people who are currently occupying those positions are those same people who voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That's their gamble. They are the same people who voted for him. And so you are not seeing that them saying that, oh, this man, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is rich in ideas. They're so rebranding and remarketing him in terms of ideas. Not in terms of performance, in terms of ideas. And clearly showing that all these people who are now putting themselves out there to contest for the leadership of their party lack ideas or rich ideas. Now the national executives too are hell-bent on keeping their positions. From general secretary to deputy general secretary to organizer to youth, all of them want to maintain their positions. And they are tying their lots with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And so that's why they are moving together with an arrangement that seems to be usurping the constitution of the NPP, but they are okay with it. So I'm not surprised that academics within the NPP are saying that, wait a minute, what you are doing, is this supported by the constitution of the party? Because that is the basic law that regulates the activities of the party. Is it in tandem with the constitution? And it is their view that what they are doing is alien to the constitution of the NPP. Well, how to manage it, I don't know. But clearly, if a group of people masquerading as Democrats try to take steps that appear to project them as non-conformists to the Constitution, it must be a matter of concern and worry for all the Democrats. And the earlier they sat down and reorganized their party in terms that are in line with their Constitution, the better.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Inusah Fuseini. Mr. Pratt, let me come to you before I read some of the messages.
I've seen Musa Dankose. Yeah, I've seen it. But I discount it. I discount it because you see, and he said it clearly. You have a president who is a comeback president, who is leaning on heavily on his past experiences, and who is taking decisions that is largely appreciated by the people of this country, who has a persona that people clearly identify with. As this is not an aggressor. It is somebody who respects even members of the opposition. And so he's created, a persona that might be very difficult to find somebody to fit into their shoes. But we must find that person. So that puts on the NDC a challenge, both presently and for the future. Presently, all of us, whether you have ambitions of becoming a flag bearer or not, have an interest in ensuring that John Dramani succeeds. Everybody. And probably his success will lessen the burden. So if you are eyeing that position of stepping into his shoes, it is well within your fortunes to work hard to let him succeed. And I agree entirely with your assessment of Professor J. Nana. I have said, I have never seen a person that is so humble, despite her achievements. Master, I got to know Nana when John Evans Atta Mills won the elections. Then Professor Atta Mills had proposed her to be on the UNESCO board. I was also part of UNESCO in Ghana, legal. When we went to France to lobby for her to be on the board, Professor Nana listened to all of us in a way that clearly exposed her humility to me. And I have since appreciated her. Because, yes, because you see, this was a person that was coming from the ivory towers. We had heard her name, what she had achieved in life. But even a commoner like me, when I was advising her on what we will do to get her to take that position, she sat, listened with rapt attention.
A commoner who is a lawyer has
Yeah, proper governor.
Allow him.
So you see, but I agree with you. Age, to her health status. But she's also making vibes. Listen to her. 2 days ago, I listened to her. Delivered a message to the senior citizens. Crisp, straight to the point. Very presidential. But when we listen to people talking about who to succeed John, somehow her name is conspicuously missing. Do some people know what we don't know? Or is there an agenda? I don't know. But what I know is that the battle to succeed John will be a battle that will be fought on values, that will be fought on principles, party. That's the one I know. And that we are not going to take the idiosyncrasies of any particular person into consideration in determining who leads the party going into the future.
The message a lot, but let me try and look at the last issue, just about 7 minutes. The energy minister is saying that ECG is unable to meet its monthly returns. Honorable, briefly.
But it's not news. Because and I've read the story. I think he was answering to a question on the floor of the House filed by Afeni Makin and asked on his behalf by Andampre. And so it's really not news. He was informing Parliament, he was informing the people of Ghana through Parliament on the state of the ECG and their performance in terms of revenue mobilization. We have known. In fact, the last time I was on this your network, I said that the technical and commercial losses stand at 23%. I haven't since been corrected by the Ministry of Energy. That was the time I was there as Deputy Minister. It was 23%, and it was bad. That was what led to the Millennium Challenge account and looking at energy sector reforms and all those things. In fact, the ministry says that the commercial and technical losses are now about 42%. Meaning clearly that ECG cannot reckon the amount of money that is required after selling the energy. In fact, little wonder that the debt of the ECG is growing because they are not recovering. In fact, at the time the budget was read, the ECG debt stood at 68 billion Ghana cedis. That is what Mr. Kosipra has said, $3.1 or so billion. And if they are not raking in more, I mean, the energy minister says, look, monthly, it has been projected that ECG will collect 2.5 billion. At the end of June, they collected only 1.6 billion. It means 900 million remain uncollected. 900 million Ghana cedis. With the increase or the increase in value of the cedi, 900 million is huge. It's about $90 million. And so you can imagine.
Thank you for your time. PENDREAM TV really appreciates your time and once again says, God bless you for the good work you are doing and continue to do. And to all our cherished new members, we urge you to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Like and also share to other friends of yours or any platform you belong to. Thank you once again for your time. Stay tuned for more.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.